Sometimes the best adventures start before the sun comes up. The night before, I drove to Nanaimo to judge wine in a provincial competition. Yeah, I know, it's a hard life. I spent the night in my car camping. Ruby Blues, she's my SUV, so I could get an early start for Hornby Island. I was on the road so early that the city was still asleep, and I quickly found out that even the gas stations weren't open yet. Thankfully, I had enough fuel to keep going. With a beautiful morning ahead of me, I headed north to catch the ferry in search of British Columbia's most beautiful island. Join me as I make my way to Hornby Island for the day of stunning scenery, hidden beaches, great wine, and island adventure. Hornby Island is one of British Columbia's hidden gems. It's known for its crystal clear turquoise waters, its dramatic cliffs, and its lush forests. It has a relaxing island vibe. It's a perfect place to slow down, reconnect with nature. Whether you're exploring the beaches, hiking a trail, or just soaking in the views, Hornby Island has a way of making you never want to leave. I caught the first of two ferries at Buckley Bay. I always feel the excitement build as I line up for the first ferry. That short 10-minute ride over Denman Island is more than just a crossing. It's a chance to slow down, breathe in the salty air, and take pictures of the sweeping views. I love stepping out onto the deck and watching the water ripple beneath us, spotting the seabirds gliding along beside the ferry. Once on Denman, the quick drive across the island feels peaceful and unhurried, like a gentle transition between worlds. Then it's time to catch the second ferry from Gravelly Bay to Hornby Island. This ride is just as short, but it feels so special, like the final steps into something more magical. The water seems clearer, the air fresher, and there's a sense of anticipation as Hornby comes into view. For me, these two ferry rides aren't just part of the journey, they're some of my favorite memories, full of beauty, calm, and a little bit of adventure. When I arrived at Tribune Bay, it kind of felt like stepping into a totally different world. People call it the Hawaii of the North, and honestly, that makes sense. As soon as you walk on the sand, you notice how wide open everything is. The beach stretches out in this long, easy curve, and the water has a calm, almost tropical vibe, especially when the sky is clear. When I showed up, the tide was low, which made the whole place feel even bigger. The sand was smooth and firm, great for walking, and there were these shallow pools reflecting the sky. It was still super early in the morning and quiet, just the sound of small waves and a few people here and there. It felt really peaceful, like you had the whole place mostly to yourself. But you can tell that doesn't last long. Tribune Bay is one of those spots that really fills up as the day goes on. Families start showing up, kids run straight into the water, and swimmers spread out across the bay. The water is warm and shallow, so it's perfect for just hanging out, floating, or waiting around for hours. Even in the early moments, you can really feel things picking up, like the beach is slowly waking up. It's that mix of calm and excitement that makes everything arriving here so nice. You know you're at one of the most beautiful beaches around, and it's only going to get livelier from there. Later in the day, I headed up to Helliwell Provincial Park. It feels completely different the moment you step into the forest. It's dense with tall fir and arbutus trees filtering the light so that everything has a soft green glow. The whole place has this peaceful, almost reflective energy. It's not about the big views or the busy activity. It's about the feeling of being surrounded by nature, with the forest and the oceans and that quiet presence of the totem pole all coming into one. As I continued along the trail, the view shifted with every turn. Sometimes the ocean is calm and glassy, reflecting the sky like a mirror, and other times it was churning and restless, full of energy. The wind carrying the sounds of the waves crashing on the rocks. Tons of seagulls were flying effortlessly along the cliffs, and I was lucky enough to spot some seals playing in the water below. There is something magical about this place, something that lingers between the stillness of the trees and the endless motion of the sea. It feels like a meeting point between worlds, the grounding calm of the forest and the wild, untamed spirit of the ocean. Walking through Halliwell, you don't just see the landscape, you feel it, as if there's cliffs and waves are telling you a story that's always been there, wanting and waiting for somebody to listen to them. And as always, I've got to add a little bit of the supernatural to this. There's local folklore that adds another layer to this experience. Stories from the Coast Salish speak of spirits that move between the forest and the sea, guardians of the land who watch over the travelers. Some say the cliffs were shaped by ancient beings, and that on especially still days, you can still feel their presence in the wind and in the silence. Whether you believe it or not, there's something very special about this place. It feels older than time. The whole park carries this peaceful, reflective energy. What a fabulous way to spend an afternoon. I finished the evening by grabbing dinner from a food truck that makes the most amazing pizza. Such a perfect treat after a day like this. And by the way, ignore all my camping hair. I even got to enjoy a glass of the gold medal wine from the night before. Honestly, what a fabulous day. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. And remember, life's too short to drink bad wine. Take care until next time.